is basic structure of the alimentary canal. So alimentary canal also known as GI system, that is digestive system. So what are the structures can be involved in the alimentary canal means there is a outer serosa. So outer serosa, it is a outer layer of the GI system. So it can be covers the GI tract. So the outer serosa become the outer membrane of the GI system and it covers the inner layers of the GI system. So it is called as outer serosa. So next one is middle muscular layer. So middle muscular layer, it can be situated between the outer serosa and the inner mucosa. So between these it is can be situated. It is also one of the layer of the GI system, that is middle muscular layer. And the next one is inner mucosa. So it can be situated inner side of the intestinal tract. So it is become inner mucosa. So it is a structure of the alimentary canal. It includes the three layers, the outer serosa and middle muscular layer and the inner mucosa. And next one is mouth. So by the mouth there is a mouth and the oral cavity bounded by the muscles and the bones. So the mouth is the first part of the GI tract. So there is a, it can be called as oral cavity and it can be bounded by the muscles and the bones. So mouth can be formed by the muscles and the bones can be involved in the formation of the mouth. So there is a next one is anteriorly. So the mouth, we can discuss about the anteriorly lips and posteriorly continuous with the oropharynx. So the mouth, so the structure between the structure of the mouth, anteriorly the lips can be situated and the posteriorly it can be continuous with the oropharynx. So oral cavity and the pharynx can be situated, it is called as oropharynx. So the posteriorly the oropharynx can be, oral cavity can be attached to the pharynx. So the posteriorly it can be continuous with the oropharynx and the laterally muscles of the cheeks. So lateral side of the mouth the cheeks can be located and there is a superiorly hard palate or the soft palate can be situated. So the superiorly become hard palate. So roof of the mouth it can be formed by the hard palate and the soft palate it can be situated posterior side of the hard palate. So it is about the mouth structure. So it includes the anteriorly lips and posteriorly continuous with the oropharynx and the laterally muscles of the cheek and superiorly hard palate and the posterior side of the hard palate the soft palate can be situated. So it is about the mouth. So next one is inferiorly. So inferiorly it can be the muscles of the tongue can be involved in the inferiorly. So the inferior side of the mouth the muscles of the tongue can be included. So the muscles of the tongue can be situated in the inferior part of the mouth. So next one is the mouth is lined throughout the mucous membrane consisting of stratified squamous epithelium. So the mouth is lined by the mucous membrane and there is a consisting of stratified squamous epithelium. So there is a stratified squamous epithelium, it is a become tissue layer and it can be made up of number of cells and it is called as stratified squamous cells epithelium. So it can be lined by the stratified squamous epithelium. The mouth is covered by the mucous membrane and the containing mucus secreting glands. So the mucous membrane consisting of the glands and the mucous membrane it secretes the glands and by this glands the mucus can be secreted. So because of this mucus the mouth become wet. So because of this glands and it can secretes the mucus and by this the mucus and can be secreted in the mouth. Because of this the mouth become wet and the part of the mouth between the gums and the cheeks is the vestibule. So between the teeth and the between the gums and cheeks. So there is a space, it is called as vestibule. So between the gums and cheeks and there is a part between the gums and cheeks. So it is called as vestibule. So next one is the remaining is oral cavity. So in the mouth there is a part between the gums and the cheeks. It is called as vestibule, and the remaining of the mouth it is called as oral cavity. And next one is mucous membrane lining the cheeks and the lips and continuous with the skin of the face. So the mucous membrane can be covers the cheeks and the lips, and it also continues with the skin of the face. And next one is palate form the roof of the mouth and is divided into the anterior hard palate and the posterior soft palate. So the palate can be situated superiorly, and it includes the hard palate and soft palate. So anterior part of the mouth can be formed by the hard palate, and the posterior part of the mouth can be formed by the soft palate. So the anterior part of the mouth can be formed by the roof of the mouth can be formed by the hard palate, and the soft palate can be situated posterior side of the anterior hard palate. So the posterior soft palate, it can be helps in the chewing the food and the swallowing, and it is also for help for the voice for speaking. So it is the palate. So the palate includes the anterior hard palate and the posterior soft palate. Anterior hard palate, it forms the roof of the mouth. So the posterior soft palate, it can be situated back side of the anterior hard palate. So the soft palate can be helps in the chewing and the swallowing, and there is for speaking also it can be helps. And the next one is the hard palate is formed by the maxilla and palatine bones. So the hard palate can be formed by the maxilla. So maxilla, it is also called as mandible, that is jaw, and next one is palatine bones, and the hard palate, it can be formed by the bones and the maxilla or mandible. And next one is uvula is curved fold of muscle covered with mucous membrane and hanging down and from the free border of middle soft palate. So uvula, if you are opening the mouth, there is a hanging down, that is called as uvula. So it can be situated at the middle part of the soft palate, and there is a become curved fold, and it can be covered by the mucous membrane, and it can be hanging down from the free border of the middle soft palate. From the middle part of the soft palate, there is a hanging down, it is called as uvula, and it can be covered by the mucous membrane. And next one is the palatopharyngeal arch and palatoglossal arches on each side. So in the mouth there is a some of the anteriorly there is a two folds and the posteriorly two folds. So the palatopharyngeal arch means there is a from the hard palate to there is a up to the pharynx, there is a arches can be present in the mouth, and posteriorly it can be situated. So from the palatopharyngeal arch and the palatoglossal arches, and each side between the arches is a collection of lymphoid tissue. So between these two arches there is a collection of tissue, it is called as tonsils. So the palatopharyngeal arch and the palatoglossal arches, it can be situated at the posterior side of the mouth, and between these two arches there is a collection of lymphoid tissue, it is called as tonsils. So it is about the mouth, it completes the mouth, it is a GI system first part.